Around 70% of families lose all accumulated wealth by the second generation, and 90% by the third. I know this is a harsh reality for those who don't master the secrets of generational wealth building and fall into common traps like excessive consumerism, lack of financial planning, and poor investments. Imagine seeing all your hard work and assets simply vanish. But there is a way to avoid this fate. Today, we'll uncover how you can build a solid financial legacy. Nowadays, more than ever, the concept of generational wealth has become essential. But what does it really mean to build a legacy that endures across generations? We're not just talking about accumulating money, but about creating a solid foundation that sustains your family's financial future and protects it from crises and uncertainties. In a world where the cost of living is rising, markets are unstable, and retirement seems increasingly out of reach, having a long-term financial plan is crucial. However, to build this sustainable wealth, we need to understand the challenges and traps that cause so many families to lose everything within just a few generations. We'll explore what prevents so many people from a true legacy and reveal the strategies you can use to ensure your family thrives securely. To understand how to build a true financial legacy, we need to start with the mistakes that many people make. These traps are more common than we imagine and end up sabotaging the financial growth of many families. Let's explore the most frequent ones. Inadequate financial habits. Many fall into the cycle of impulsive spending and debt. This includes everything from impulsive purchases to excessive use of credit, which creates a snowball effect that makes it almost impossible to invest for the future. If this pattern continues over the years, it compromises the ability to accumulate wealth and passes debts on to the next generations. Lack of investment knowledge. Another critical point is the lack of understanding of how and where to invest. Without this knowledge, it's easy to fall into poorly planned investments, or worse, leave money stagnant, depreciating with inflation. Building wealth requires us to learn to invest strategically, focusing on long-term growth rather than just quick and risky returns. Excessive consumerism and an inflated lifestyle. The desire to maintain a high standard of living is also one of the most treacherous traps. This inflated lifestyle may seem comfortable now, but it consumes resources that could be directed toward building a solid reserve. Many confuse immediate comfort with security, but true security comes from accumulated wealth. Lack of planning for the future. Without a clear financial strategy, many end up spending today what could be saved or invested to ensure the family's future. Saving, investing, and planning are fundamental pillars to building lasting wealth. Unfortunately, without a plan, it's easy to get lost in momentary expenses, leaving the future at the mercy of circumstances. Each of these points is a barrier that can prevent the creation of generational wealth. Therefore, understanding and avoiding these traps is the first step to building a stable financial future. These traps may seem insurmountable, but the truth is, with the right strategy, anyone can overcome them and secure a solid financial future. Now I'm going to share a practical approach that not only avoids these traps, but also lays the foundation for building a financial legacy. Let's talk about the powerful 702,010 principle. Following the 70%, 20%, 10% principle can transform the way you manage finances and build lasting wealth. With this structure in mind, let's move on to the concrete steps to apply it effectively and start your journey toward building true wealth. Overcoming these traps requires more than just willpower. It requires a clear strategy and a proven method. One of the most effective strategies I want to share with you today is the 70%, 20%, 10%. Principally a simple approach to managing your money and ensuring it's always working in your favor. How does the 70%, 20%, 10% principle work? This method suggests dividing your income into three main parts to balance: your current lifestyle with your future financial growth. 70 for essential expenses and lifestyle. Set aside 70 of your income to cover essential expenses and your standard of living. This includes housing, food, transportation, and other indispensable costs. This division helps you maintain a balanced budget, avoiding uncontrolled consumerism. 20 for investments and growth. This is the crucial part of wealth building. Direct 20 of your income to strategic investments, such as stocks, real estate funds, or other options that suit your profile. These investments are not for immediate returns. They focus on long-term growth and generating passive income. 10 for savings and emergencies. Finally, allocate 10 to build an emergency fund. This fund is what protects your family against unforeseen events and prevents you from needing to sell investments at unfavorable times. A well-built reserve is essential to keep your financial plan intact, even during crises. With this method, you create a solid foundation for accumulating wealth without compromising your current lifestyle. Additionally, you're training your mindset to prioritize long-term goals and financial security, essential factors in building a true legacy. Many of the greatest investors and families who have managed to preserve their wealth have followed similar principles, placing long-term growth above immediate consumption and controlling their spending with discipline. This balance between living well today and investing in the future is what truly differentiates those who build lasting wealth from those who remain trapped in the cycle of consumption. With the 70%, 20%, 10% principle, you're creating an automatic and sustainable system that allows you to avoid the most common financial traps. Now let's look at how you can put this into practice and take the first steps to implement your plan. Now that we understand the 70%, 20%, 10% principle, let's put this strategy into practice with a few concrete steps. The idea is not just to learn the concept, but to start applying it today. Step 1. Analyze your current expenses. The first step is to understand exactly where your money is going. Take some time to review your expenses from the past few months and identify how much you're spending on basic needs, leisure, and other areas. This overview is essential to know what needs to be adjusted to align your finances with the 70%, 20%, 10% principle. Step 2. Cut unnecessary expenses. Now that you have a clear view of your expenses, start cutting back or reducing those that aren't essential. Ask yourself, is this expense really contributing to my well-being and financial future? Reducing spending on superfluous items or unnecessary subscriptions can free up a good portion of your budget for investing and saving. Step 3. Set up an investment plan with 20 of your income available for investments. The next step is to choose where to allocate this amount. Start with investments that combine security and profitability, like index funds, established company stocks, or real estate funds. The goal here is to ensure that your money grows steadily, creating a solid foundation for your wealth over time. Step 4. Build your emergency fund. Don't forget the 10 allocated for your financial security. The emergency fund should cover 3 to 6 months of your expenses, ensuring you have a safety net in times of crisis. Build this reserve consistently and without haste, as it's the first line of defense against unforeseen events that could destabilize your plan. Step 5. Review and adjust your plan regularly. Wealth building is a continuous process, and reviewing your plan every few months is essential. Reevaluate your goals, expenses, and investments. If your income or financial situation changes, adjust the 70%, 20%, 10% principle to keep up with your new reality, always staying true to your long-term objectives. Step 6. Maintain a long-term mindset. This may be the most challenging step. With so much information and promises of quick gains, it's easy to get distracted and seek immediate results. However, building a financial legacy is a decades-long project, and patience is the key to success. Remember that consistency is what will set your wealth apart in the future. Following these steps will allow you to turn theory into practice, integrating the 70%, 20%, 10% principle into your daily life. The secret is to start gradually, adapting to the new financial routine and staying focused on the greater goal, building generational wealth that strengthens your family's future. So today, we saw how building generational wealth is possible for anyone willing to avoid common traps and follow a solid strategy. We explored the pitfalls that many families face from excessive consumerism to a lack of investment knowledge and introduced the 700-2010 principle as an effective method for creating a financial plan that works in the long term. If you apply the steps discussed, from understanding your expenses to maintaining a long-term mindset, you'll be laying the foundation for a solid legacy that can span generations. Applying the 700-2010 principle is not just a step towards stability, but a life decision that can protect your legacy for generations to come. Now, I want to hear from you. Share in the comments what the biggest challenges are that you face when trying to build wealth and what strategies have worked for you. Don't forget to like the video, share it with those who might need this message, and subscribe to the channel for more tips on finance and wealth building. Let's go on this journey together to ensure a prosperous future for the next generations.